Yeah.
We're back in it. You all fade up on a new reality after part of your selves returning to you after murdering another Holloway. Did I make you all gain a stress? Actually, I think only Baylor witnessed the death of Holloway this time. So stress for Baylor. No panic check
Right.
this time, but just an actual stress for witnessing that.
Yeah, because none of them would have even known what I was doing until it happened.
Exactly. You all are back in the drive room once again. You can see again. It's great. The architecture looks weird. Everything is much larger than before, wider, not like multiple times larger. Maybe, like everything's scaled up by like 1.2, 1.3. Um, the architecture all looks weird. It's oddly sharp and angular, but like the doorways are all round instead of rectangular, like you've seen before. Like they're wider because of like they're circular, so they can fit something wider. The room you're in doesn't have a square ceiling; it's more like a dome, and the architecture is just weird. There are like server racks in this room that weren't here before, but they don't make any sense. Like the technology on it isn't anything you've seen before, and even seems to like overlap with itself in space in a few different ways, and you don't have any idea what the fuck is going on with that. And that's your current situation.
Against my against my better judgment, I'm gonna plug into one of the server racks.
All right. You go up to plug into one of the server racks, uh, and you have to adjust, make a custom cable real quick, a couple of different parts and like hot wire some wires in because there's no standard port for you to plug into. We do manage to connect things and start just trying to reverse engineer a connection here. Give me a intellect roll.
I'd like to add my expert hacking onto this.
Absolutely,
So rolling under a 76 is what we're looking for.
that tracks.
That is that was almost a critical. That's a 12.
Ooh, all right. So 12. Um, so you start connecting to this thing, and you eventually manage to find a connection. Uh, and it's not like impossible math this time, but it is still very weird. It takes you a while, and you feel like if you weren't so smart and so good at hacking, there's no way you would have ever figured out anything here. But the computer architecture is completely foreign to anything you've seen before. It doesn't operate on any of the same concepts you've seen ever, and you can only get very limited things out of it because of that. Um, but you are able to read some things that you already recognized beforehand a little bit, right? It's like trying to inspect the memory of a program that you didn't write, just from the raw memory of it. And so
Mm.
you expect some values like the life signs of Dr. Holloway. You expect some signs of like, ah, yes, these are positive status messages from the uh, the Trailblazer drive. But other than that, it's hard to tell what else you're looking for here, unless you're looking for something specific.
I'm looking for uh, information or any way to interface with whatever port on it that we need to prepare in order to plug somebody else into the Trailblazer drive.
All right.
Assuming we can get the other hardware we need.
Yes, you do find like part of the data stream of this whole setup. The largest part of all the processing here is just aggregating all of the data from all over the ship and just feeding it down one port. And so you feel like that's probably what you need to aim for, is to isolate that port. Maybe split it up, put somebody else on that port. Um, and yeah, you think that that might be it. I mean, you'd need to actually get up there and physically install new wires. Like splice all the wires, add a new endpoint for each of them, so on and so forth. It's still going to be a time-consuming process, but you at least know where to look now.
Okay. I'll disconnect. All right, folks. I know where to start for starting to plug somebody into this thing. So I don't know where Lawrence was keeping the extra hardware. Maybe it's in their living quarters. But I'm gonna get to work on this if y'all want to start working on the other stuff.
Well, I'm not really mobile, so should I just stay here and make sure this hallway survives?
If you want to stay here and keep your shotgun pointed at anything that threatens me while I work, that is perfect.
All right. Just
Quick,
as a heads up, I got 2 rounds left.
quick question
All
for
right.
Steven and Lavinia, since you two were in the room while Baylor was doing that stuff, and you're actually at eye level to be able to do it. Did either of you look into the Trailblazer drive?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just to check that Dr. Holloway's there or whatever. Yeah. So both of you then? You're just like both peeking from the sides?
I would just be looking for anything out of the ordinary, so that would probably be one of the first things I'd check.
All right. You look into this this Trailblazer drive, what you've seen many times before. It all looks very familiar. It's a little bit larger though, like I said. But very strangely, you see something hooked up to this machine. But it's not at all like what you've seen before. You see a monster connected to this device. A long, lanky, hulking form. Its entire body covered with shiny carapace, pitch black. It's reflecting the light on it. It looks more insect than humanoid, but it still has 2 arms, 2 legs. The head is elongated, up and backwards away from the face. It has tiny eyes and a massive, massive mouth, which is sitting there, mouthing words repeatedly. Within the mouth, you can see another telescoping mouth, also mouthing words. And within that, you see yet another mouth. Rows and rows of teeth. But the same helmet is strapped onto it with the same plugs going into the Trailblazer drive. I need you both to make me sanity saves, I think. I think that makes sense.
Cool, I'm good at that. Until I
Perfect.
fail.
Critical failure.
All right, critical
That checks
failure,
out.
you take a stress and you panic.
Are
yeah, you
either
both
of
take
you
stress.
a scientist?
I'm a teamster.
I'm the scientist.
Okay, because when you fail a sanity save, we all gain 1 stress.
Excellent. So,
Good.
yeah, everybody gains some stress on top of that.
I'm really glad I recovered some earlier.
Yeah, right.
I'm really glad the robot gave me 2 stress earlier.
And
You're welcome.
Lavinia, you need to make a panic check versus your new stress level.
Failure.
Failure. All right. Just barely a failure too. Okay, so you are extremely violent right now.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, Lavinia is currently panicking and very jumpy and like ready to just attack anything that happens near her. So, that's the current situation. There's this weird fucking xenomorph inside this this Trailblazer drive.
What the fuck?
So before opening the thing had no adverse effects, you just needed to use your sanity, right?
We're doing what? Opening
Like-
what thing?
Opening the chamber.
Oh, no, that was
just to hear if
just hearing that he was repeating words repeatedly for the first time. That somebody ever heard it for the first time. That was a sanity save. Otherwise, no, it's fine.
Okay, I was gonna open it to see if he's saying the same words or if it's in a different language or something.
Strangely enough, he's saying the same words.
I would close the door and look at everyone and be like, well, he's saying the same words in our language, and I can understand it, so maybe that's a good thing? He just looks really fucking weird.
I guess that explains why everything is so long.
I think Baylor asked something a while ago and I interrupted. I am so sorry. What was it?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. You might have suggested a course of action or something. Whatever it was.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna start working on like the wires and things that
Oh,
we
right.
needed.
To connect somebody else to it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
When I opened the door, could I use my med scanner? Would that tell me like anything about their like build? That's not the right word, but like their anatomy.
Sure. You pull open the door, you scan it with the med scanner, and it like immediately pops up a bunch of warnings like unrecognized biology. It starts trying to prompt you to like record data to like discover a new species, things like that. But no, it doesn't recognize anything.
Right, and I would look at everyone being like, this is it's scary.
So what do you suggest we do then?
Well, I mean, I scanned it with my medical scanner and it told us nothing. So I don't know what it's made of. I don't know what it's built with. I don't know anything about it. So I would say we should approach whatever we're doing very carefully.
One of the doors to the room opens.
Fuck.
I make a sanity check.
Yes, but let me finish describing it first.
Okay.
But you can make that in the background. The door opens, and a xenomorph in a lab coat, yes, it's wearing clothes, with like a pair of like very large spectacles on over its tiny little eyes, and reading from a clipboard enters the room.
I failed, so
You
everyone
don't need
takes the
to.
stress.
You don't need to roll, Stephen. Only Lavinia did.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay,
Lavinia
okay.
has the death wish thing. Yeah, you're good. You're good. So you can recover that stress, actually, Stephen. So Lavinia, yeah,
Okay.
you are compelled to attack as this
I take
xenomorph
out my
enters the room.
revolver
Like,
and
ah!
shoot the xenomorph.
Oh, what the? It
Can
throws the clipboard to the side, and yes, what's up, Magellan?
Can I just like throw myself and squash Lavinia?
You can roll me a speed roll, and you only have one leg right now, right?
Yep. The goal is to
Disadvantage.
just like collapse on top of her.
Yeah, that makes
I was
sense.
gonna
I think
I was gonna
speed.
also say if I could roll a speed roll to try to like stop Lavinia from shooting.
Sure. Yeah, you can also make a speed roll to try and so both of you make speed rolls, but Magellan's at disadvantage.
I failed.
I failed.
All right, Lavinia. Roll combat.
Luckily, I'm not very good at combat. Yeah, 58.
All right, you go to take the shot and you just shoot wide. Do you even have a gun? Are you allowed to?
Yeah, I have a revolver.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you pull out your revolver, take a shot at it. It's like, what the? And it starts getting angry, and then it's going to charge at all of you. And now we're in combat. So everybody tell me what action you're doing, because you're now in combat. I think actually, Baylor, you're the only one who hasn't acted this round. So you have a chance here to stop this thing from charging down
Yeah.
Lavinia.
You know, so he just runs in front of her, just kind of holding his arms up, like, whoa, sorry, she really jumping these. We've been in 8 different realities right now. We were in 2 realities ago that sight didn't exist. There was no concept of it. They started They started questioning us. It was weird. The last one we were in, fuck, what was that one?
So
oh,
you start.
God.
Okay, so you start saying all this when it's charging with like 3 seconds to impact. It doesn't seem to slow down when you start saying all this. In fact, it looks over at you. You can see it start to bare its like fangs. Its telescoping mouth extends out multiple layers. It's starting to drip like drool on the ground. Yeah, it looks very, very threatening.
Yep.
And you know what? I think actually, I'll say it does respond to you. It stops, and it says, "Well, I don't know where you came from, but I won't say no to a free meal." And it charges at you again.
All right.
So I think
If I have time, then given my cowboy up history, if I could try and whip it out and just kind of try and fan one in the meantime.
sure, yeah, go for it.
All right, that's combat. I'm not great at it, but 31. That's a success.
All right, roll damage.
Ooh, that's an 8 on the die, so 9.
All right. 9 does not appear to pierce its armor. It's chitin. As it pierces through, you can see it go through the lab coat it's wearing and then just ricochet off its skin. It just hisses at you and continues to charge down at well, I guess you're probably closer now. So it's going to charge down at you.
Get us out of here!
So it rolls. There we go. It rolls a 51, which is definitely a success. And it is going to attack you, Baylor, for 13 points of damage. As a telescoping face just bites down on your shoulder and just rips a chunk free. Does that break any armor you have?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So whatever armor you have shatters.
My vac suit is no longer viable.
All right, yeah. Tears open a hole and it pulls out a whole hunk of your shoulder and all the mechanical bits and starts crunching on them. It says, "Ah."
I'm not very tasty, am I? Son of a
hisses
bitch.
at you. It's now
Piece of
charging.
shit, Lawrence. I didn't even like you in any of the universes we met.
It's charging at Lavinia now. You all have a new round of actions to take. If it's not stopped, it's gonna hit Lavinia.
I would probably like put my hands out and be like, hold on. Is your name Lawrence? Is that the assistant's name, Lawrence?
I've never had my food talk to me before, but it doesn't matter. And it's currently like looming over Lavinia with its claws about to reach her.
Shotgun
If I can
time?
if I can look up and I can still see the power line in the ceiling, I'm gonna try and shoot that.
Okay. Roll combat.
Is that something I could potentially reach?
Power line's in the ceiling.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it would be on the back wall as well, but I think you were at the drive, so you'd have to move first.
And I have one leg.
Exactly. So
And I rolled exactly my combat.
that's a fail. It has to be
Yes.
under, unfortunately. So you take a stress. What else was everyone else doing?
All right. I now have to reload. That was the 6th round.
I was going to.
Well, it's a good question. Is do you even have spare ammo in your inventory?
I do. I had 12 rounds.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I've
Sorry.
been counting down, so I have 6 remaining.
All right, Lavinia, you're up.
I
Or
was
everyone's
going
up, but-
to attempt to shoot at the xenomorph that's plugged in.
Okay. So roll speed, I guess, speed or combat, whichever one you prefer here.
Well, my speed is better than my combat by 1.
Okay. So you do that.
Nope.
All right, so you take a stress. Steven, Magellan, what are you doing?
I guess I was right by the door trying to stop it, so All I have is a screwdriver, so I guess I would open the door and try to stab the xenomorph again.
Okay, so you watched a bullet bounce off its skin. So I mean, I won't
Find
stop
some way
you.
to interrupt the power.
Yeah, I won't stop you in taking that action if that's what you want to do. But I think Steven, being a scientist that understands the physics and stuff involved, you're pretty sure no way in hell a screwdriver's doing anything to this thing.
All right, I guess I would try to unplug any major cords plugged into it then.
So the last time you had to pry open the wall, so you could start prying open the wall if that's what you want to do.
Well,
You have a
in
tool
like
for
the
that.
actual xenomorph, it would just be like pulling out a plug, right?
Oh, going into the chamber. I see what you're saying. Like pull the hat
I mean,
off
because
of it.
I had the door open while I was scanning it.
I see what you're saying. Yes. So you're inside the drive now. I got you. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think if you're trying to get the thing off it or like unplug one of the big plugs that's going into it, it's pretty well made. I think this is probably going to be a strength roll to try and break something in here.
Uh-oh. Can I add surgery to it so that I I
Not
know
against-
the main ones that are
Not
plugged
against a
in?
machine. No.
Okay. Okay.
It's got screws. He's got a screwdriver.
Oh, I failed.
All right. Take a stress. All right.
Yeah.
Magellan.
That's a very stressed scientist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the door is open.
The door is open.
Thanks to the robot, I'm very stressed.
Listen.
I'm gonna shoot the guy in the drive.
All right.
I have one round
Or
left
shoot-
and no more ammo after this.
Can you try and hit the try and hit the helmet on him? Like aim for the head.
Yeah, headshot. Can I use military training for this?
Yeah. Combat military training makes sense to me.
Okay. Fail.
All right. Not a crit fail. Just normal fail.
Yeah.
Okay. You shoot in there, and you just can't find your balance with one leg and one arm. And right as you pull the trigger, you tilt back a little bit and just shoot up over the thing. And yeah, you gain a stress. That is when the xenomorph lands next to Lavinia and just stabs outwards with one of its long clawed hands. And it rolled a 5, which is definitely a success. For 12 points of damage, Lavinia, as it just scratches at you with this giant claw.
Well, my vac suit is exploded and I'm on 1 health.
All right, wow, you didn't take a wound yet, though. That's good. New round. What are you all doing? It's still sitting there, like clearly trying to kill and eat Lavinia at the moment.
I'm reloading my revolver and shooting for the power line once again.
Okay, I think reloading your revolver is probably your action here.
Okay.
You might have to wait for a new round for a shot, because that's going to take you some time. What's everyone else doing?
I'll shoot the thing that's on top of me. That makes sense, right?
The revolver is probably not going to do it. You're gonna need you're gonna need a 10 or better.
I mean, revolver is 3d10.
I thought it was 1. I've been rolling 1.
Let me double check. So I thought I checked the revolver. Do you have a special
Wait, did I
kind of
read-
revolver? So
I don't
revolver,
know.
I see revolver listed as 1d10 plus 1.
Oh, I can't read that. I must have read the wrong line on the thing.
That's all right. It might be something else. Yeah, maybe it
I
was
have
like
not done damage with it though, so
yeah, fair enough. It might
He
be
saw
like
me plink it though.
maybe it was like 3d10 ammo for it or something weird. But yeah, it's 1d10 plus 1. And you did see the revolver just kind of skim off it,
well,
ricochet away.
I'll look for a power source and shoot at it.
Okay, so you know there's cables in the walls and ceiling.
Yeah.
You might have to pry that open first, or you could try to shoot into the chamber with the thing.
Yeah.
There's no obvious target to shoot at right now, except into the chamber.
I'll run into the chamber then.
All right, so you run in and you take aim. Are you shooting like the helmet of the thing?
Sure.
Okay. Roll. Roll combat.
Eh, that's a failure.
All right, you take a stress. You
You're
run
not
in,
doing good at this, folks.
take a shot. We still have Steven and Magellan, I think.
Alright,
Yes.
I'm gonna run in and. Is the helmet something I can try and yank off the head?
Yeah, I was gonna try to do that too.
Yeah, with a strength roll, you could try to push it off. I think.
Alright,
On.
can I add athletics?
I think with your lack of limbs, that might be disadvantage. But yes, you could add athletics to it.
Okay.
If I try to assist, can I make that not be an advantage or disadvantage?
Yeah, you could assist to make it not disadvantage. I'd allow that.
I pass.
All right. So you get in there, and you
I would have passed
rip.
the other way.
Nice, excellent. So this badass Magellan gets propped up by Steven as you push on the helmet and it pops off. But since nobody prevented the other xenomorph from attacking Lavinia, it gets off that one last attack because that's the result of a round. Which it fails. It fails to attack you. You got away in time. But the helmet pops off the xenomorph in there, and you just see its mouth widen and its jaw almost unhinges, just screams in agony. And then everything fades to darkness once again. And you all regain 2 skills or a limb.
Alright, I have both legs now.
I got my arm back.
I still
That's
haven't
why it
been
took me so long to reload.
And now your feet.
No, don't.
Huh?
I said no, don't chuckle like that. It's an evil universe.
Your feet touch the floor as it vibrates wildly beneath your feet. Or is that just what you feel? Or is that just what you see? Do you hear the vibration? Or is the vibration coming from within you? Are you the vibration? Everything feels wrong here. Nothing makes any sense. You swear one moment you blink and the door is one shape, and then you blink and it's another shape. Half the room looks like it's from one universe. Half of it looks like it's from another universe. Everybody takes 2 points of damage as the universe you are in is rapidly shifting through multiple overlapping universes, and your bodies are being torn apart by it little by little. You feel like this will happen. We are currently in combat initiative, and you feel like this will continue to happen.
Whoever's closest, tackle this fucking helmet off the guy again. Shit.
Since I still have AP 7, I don't take any damage from this, right?
You still have AP 7. This is armor piercing damage.
Okay.
A good question.
No.
So
All right.
it does not destroy your armor, but it does deal health damage anyways. Yes.
I'm gonna run through the door, use my athletics to yank the helmet off.
All right, you run into the room, and he's still shouting the same things. Pawn, thrill forms, but every time he says it, it's a slightly different voice as his body is being rapidly replaced every second with a new body from a different universe. It's a xenomorph. Then his skin is pink and he's a human. Then he's upside down and inverted. Then he has no skin. Then he's just rapidly changing and vibrating on the chair. Every time he shifts, he says a different word. And you rush in there, you try to rip the helmet off. Give me a strength roll. You have your legs again, so I think this is no longer a disadvantage.
All right, and using athletics, so I got to roll under a 47. I rolled an 11.
Ooh. All right.
Critical success.
Get in there, you rip the helmet off, everything fades to darkness. You all have that moment of calm once again.
So I hit 0 health in that. So
Okay, so you had 0 health. Let's handle that real quick because you do take a wound. So you go back up to your max health, and then any overflowing damage gets applied, and you take 1 wound towards your maximum, which I think is 2.
Yep.
Can I try to do a surgery check to make that not happen?
There's no time right now. We'll get to that, but right now
Okay.
you're in the darkness. We're just pausing the game real quick to do the mechanics. Okay, wound table. This was
Incompatible reality damage.
exactly. There's a table, but I'm gonna call this massive damage on the table. Even though it was a small number. So I get to roll a d10. All right. Let me. Okay. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, I see. Okay. That means I re-roll with a modifier. I get it.
That sounds great.
that's it.
Okay.
Great? Question mark?
You the universe starts to tear you apart and you were barely holding it together already, Lavinia. The xenomorph had gotten a straight cut into your shoulder before, and now as the universe warps around you, at one point like this frequency vibrates across your whole body and a shockwave erupts and your arm just gets torn off by it, no longer being held to your body after being cut almost off previously, and just slumps to the floor and you start spraying blood out of your shoulder. And you are currently approaching death from bleeding out. So we'll get to that because
I
as
would
the
like to
universe,
scream.
yes, you scream into the darkness as the terrible frequency around you fades out and you're in the darkness, and all you hear is the ring of it in your ears for a second. The scream from Lavinia takes over that feeling for just a second, and then you feel this terrible feeling in the pit of your stomach as that frequency starts to come back as you fade back into reality. I need everybody to make me a fear save at disadvantage. Except
Alright.
Baylor, but yeah.
Do I get my tactics and the skills back?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A limb or skills from traveling.
Cool.
Yes.
And you said fear save disadvantage?
Fear save, disadvantage for everybody but Baylor, because Baylor is an android. And you're all disadvantaged because of Baylor.
Sorry, folks.
I also think Lavinia rolls a panic.
Fail.
Ooh, I rolled a critical
Yeah.
success.
Can I take advantage on my panic roll because of my trauma response?
Yes.
I failed anyway.
All
What do
right,
I get for a critical success?
Heal a stress.
Yay!
All right, what
I
did
have
you
8 stress.
Hell yeah. Lavinia, how did you roll on your panic?
I failed.
What was your number?
10, so I get doomed.
Doomed. Okay, yeah, you feel cursed and unlucky, which kind of makes sense. All critical successes are instead critical fails.
Oof.
That's fun. Lavinia's having a no good, very bad day. So as Lavinia is spraying blood from their shoulder, you all touch your feet back down into this terrible reality where there's just this screaming vibration all around you, where reality itself is changing and the physics are being inverted constantly. You're all going to take more
Again?
damage.
Good.
Another 2 points of damage. I rolled low. So another 2 points of damage for everybody.
All right.
You rolled low. Okay.
Yeah.
Shooting at the fucking helmet once again.
All right. Combat.
No, I miss.
All right.
Can I yank it?
Yep. Strength.
All right, athletics.
Athletic supplies. Absolutely.
Fail.
All right, you take a stress. Lavinia, you're screaming. Steven, what do you do? Lavinia can also do something, but I just want to keep that status going.
I would
try and
probably-
shoot the helmet, but
Yeah, so Lavinia raises her right arm to try and shoot the helmet. What do you do, Steven?
I mean, assumedly one of their arms is like bleeding out. I would probably try
Yeah.
to use my surgery skill and intellect to try to stop it from bleeding.
There's going to be a speed roll, but you can definitely apply surgery.
Okay, they're the same. Speed and surgery.
There you
Or
go. Hell yeah.
Speed and intellect are the same.
Perfect.
Cool. Your arm is no longer bleeding.
Yeah, so you reach up and you start quickly like tying off the arm, trying to like, get pressure around it so it's no longer bleeding. It's not a perfect situation, but you're no longer in danger of bleeding out within seconds. That's good. But so Lavinia, you aim your gun, roll combat.
uh,
All right, you shoot the
Success.
helmet. You travel. Everybody gains a limb or skills if you're missing any.
do I get my limb back?
No, not that limb.
Damn it.
I stopped it from bleeding, but you don't get it back.
The frequency fades out. Once again, Lavinia, you are still in absolute agony. The frequency fades back in once more. The ground beneath your feet starts to shake underneath you. Everything is going bad again. Everybody takes 8 points of damage. Did anybody get a
Oh,
wound?
I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that's a wound for me.
Wait, are you dead, Steven, or wounded?
That's -1 health, so I don't know if that counts as a wound.
Have you taken any wounds yet?
No.
Okay, so you take 1 wound, you go back to max health, and you subtract 1 from it.
All right, 7. So I'm at 16 health, and I have 1 wound.
Okay, and we'll roll that wound. But Lavinia, does that take you back to 0?
Yep.
Damn, you had less than like 12 health or whatever.
Yeah, I have 11 max health.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Oh shit!
Let me go check the wound table again.
I have 20.
Oh,
Wait, you only had 2 wounds to start with.
Yes, so I'm pretty sure you hit
So
0
you die?
wounds. I'm pretty sure you die.
Yep. think so.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm reading the rules because I want to
I
make
think
sure
I
we get this
literally
right.
got like minimum health roll, and I was sad about it.
Yeah, that's like you rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so here's what happens. I'm pretty sure from my very brief reading of this section. I roll a d10 on a table, and I keep it a secret. You don't know what happens to Lavinia, as you all just watch blood shoot out of her ears, and she collapses to the floor immediately, not moving. What do the rest of you do?
How?
Can I try to med scan?
Yeah, you can try to med scan. That would be your
That's
action.
probably
Though.
what I would do.
I'm gonna try to interface with the console here. If it's even like as it's rapidly shifting, try to interface it as much as I can and see if I can hit the emergency stop. Maybe it'll work here. Maybe this is the only place it'll work because it's everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, roll me intellects, computers, whatever.
Yep. Hack. Can I apply hacking as well, or just computers?
1 skill, so pick whichever one's higher.
Hacking is higher.
All right.
Okay, so under a 76, give it to me. That's cocked. That is a 0, 0, 0, 0.
All right, so that's a
It's all
critical
zeros.
success.
Yes.
All right. Hell yeah. Well, I was going to say that in every universe, the emergency stop does not work. But on a critical success, I will say you managed to stumble across in this rapid overlaying of universes, the one universe where the emergency brakes work at the exact moment you hit the emergency stop. The system shuts down. You fade to darkness. And once more, if anyone is missing any limbs or anything, you regain those.
Do we regain a Lavinia?
Do I get my limb back? Or does my corpse get my limb back?
The med scan from Steven reveals that Lavinia is in a coma and rapidly dying from blood loss, but currently in a coma.
Well, I thought I stopped blood loss.
I mean,
Or blood loss.
you
More
had
blood loss.
essentially a 3-second period of time to do something here. You tied a knot around that wound to make sure it wasn't spraying blood, but it's not like you applied stitches or cauterized it or anything. It's still slowly seeping blood.
Okay, that's fair.
So we're talking a matter of minutes or hours instead of seconds at this point. But yeah. All right, now I roll a very important die.
No.
I
A
rolled
very
a-
important die, literally.
I rolled a 5 on a d5. The darkness around you fades once more as light fills every corner of your vision, growing in intensity until you can't even barely see yourself around you. You hold up the hand in front of your face, and light just begins to overwhelm it. There's this heavenly sound all around you, like a chorus of angels, but not speaking any kind of words or language you've ever heard before, not perhaps even voices speaking this, just this harmony of the universe all around you. You can feel it in your skin, you can feel it in your bones. Everything feels right here, but in an aggressive, overpowering way. Everybody roll me 3d10.
Is this so that was something all of us felt?
Something all of you felt.
Are we
Except
adding
Lavinia.
these up?
You are adding them up.
I rolled a 20.
All right.
22.
24.
Lavinia, you still roll, but you don't experience the light.
Okay. 14.
All right. Suddenly, the light fades, and you worry for a second that you're left in darkness around you, but your senses slowly come back to your they come back to normal as you realize you're in a fairly normal looking drive chamber. It just like your eyes adjusting after being out in the bright light for too long, entering into a very dark interior. That has happened to all of your senses. They've all been dulled by the overpowering might of whatever plane you entered into a moment ago.
Is Lavinia still unconscious?
Oh yeah.
I tried to do a surgery roll to stabilize.
All right. Well,
I mean, I
Hold
guess
that-
it would be intellect with surgery
hold
to
that-
stabilize.
hold that thought and let me finish describing things here. Because, but yes, that is what Stephen rushes to do. We'll have that roll mechanically go off in a second here. But so Lavinia, hits the floor in here. The rest of you scramble to figure things out around here, and you see there is no drive in this room, or there is no Trailblazer drive, I should say. You're in a very normal looking drive bay. There is no Dr. Holloway. There is no Dr. Lawrence. So, Stephen, you rush to try and finish up that wound, and you realize that this will be a lot easier if you get the body to the med bay.
Here, I'll help you carry her.
You could do like first aid here, but if you want to do like actual things, you should get her to the med bay.
Yeah, I'll help carry.
All right, so as you lift her body and start heading down the corridors, you hear over the PA system of the ship a voice. Well, congratulations to the crew of the Appian Way. We have completed another successful roadwork operation. Payment will be forwarded to your accounts, of course. And good doing business with all of you. We will dock in 2 hours. I'll see you all on the galley for celebrations. Was the voice of Tex over the radio.
That'll make no sense. Just keep rushing.
Does Magellan have Does Magellan have all limbs right now?
Did
I should.
Magellan have all limbs?
We went through enough
Yes.
transitions to.
Yes. So yes.
All right, Magellan. Baylor and I will carry the body. Just please be there to protect us. We're gonna get to the med bay and try to bring Lavinia back.
All right.
I think wherever we are, we're probably safe. There's no drive. Can I check my account? Are we already paid?
Indeed. You check your account, and the original payment you agreed upon for this contract was it was, I believe, was it
It was 10,000 credits,
10,000
right?
credits, yes. And you actually see sitting in your account 22,000 credits.
Holy shit! We're paid. This is wherever we are. We did the thing. Pretty sure we did the thing. Don't know how we're gonna explain, but we gotta get Lavinia.
Is it more than the thing we were meant to be paid?
We got 22,000 credits.
Did we
Well,
all get that?
That's definitely more than the thing we were supposed to be paid.
I think
You
that
all-
was the hazard pay.
You all got
bonus.
that. Yep.
I thought it was only supposed to be like 1,000.
So a normal roadwork trip that you would usually go on for one of these journeys would probably pay you a few hundred credits. You thought it was very suspicious that this job offered you 10,000, and you are seeing in your account, 220,000.
Oh,
Wait,
it's 220. I thought you said 22. 220?
Yes, I'm sorry. 220,000.
Oh, are we rich?
Yes. A
Did we figure out
ridiculous amount.
the infinite money glitch?
I mean,
Wherever-
you're unconscious.
Let's just
Whatever.
get Lavinia alive, and then we can get
as
to
we're
Messel.
dragging her, Baylor's explaining what he did on the console. I looked through and I think, right as I pressed the button, it was the one console that I guess it was the one console that it actually worked. The graceful shutdown was all we needed. We just needed the right one.
Was the voice over the intercom text?
Yeah, that sounded like Tex.
You actually pass through the
Yeah.
galley on the way to the med bay, and Tex is in there popping a bottle of champagne as you enter. And she looks over and says, "Holy, what the fuck is going on in here?
Trailblazer's
What happened to you?"
Gone. Lavinia's in a coma.
The fuck's a trailblazer?
Don't worry about it.
What happened to her arm? I thought this was a successful jump.
I treated
It-
her arm. It went missing in one of the jump
Yeah, no.
scenarios that we were on, I guess.
Get her to the med place. Stop dripping blood on the floor. Get her in there. Fix her up. Is she gonna live?
We'll see.
I think we'll end that scene there. So you get her to the med bay. And we just have a montage of Steven operating on Lavinia. We have a montage of all looking at your accounts and pointing in awe. Perhaps a couple of you having a bit of a half-hearted celebration with Tex. But there's this feeling in the back of your mind that, you just went through something fucking terrible. But you got out alive. You're still kind of in shock over that whole thing. And eventually, someday, Lavinia wakes back up with the best medical equipment, the best medical treatment that money can buy with the ludicrous amount of money in all of your savings accounts, Lavinia lives. But without an arm, but you can get a cybernetic one. And
Baylor's
so-
help out with that.
Absolutely. So let's just, what do each of your characters do here? Let's start with Magellan. Do you go off and retire somewhere? What kind of scene is Magellan in when we just see them for the last time before the credits roll here?
Magellan's probably been hanging around and keeping an eye on Lavinia and like berating doctors on her behalf the whole time. So he's just gonna hang out with whoever stays.
Okay,
And
so-
probably like build a compound that's very secure.
All right. So he stays with Lavinia till Lavinia gets better and goes off somewhere and just builds a space fortress to live out the rest of his days.
Yep.
Safe from the hyper intelligent cat people.
Exactly. Steven, what do you do with the rest of your days and ludicrous amounts of money?
I would probably start trying to carefully study hyperspace and all of the different like worlds that we went through, because if this technology is going to start being used to pave ways, he wants to make it easier for people to not have to
So-
deal with all the shit that he went through.
You try to look up the Trailblazer, and you not only don't find anything called the Trailblazer Drive, you don't find any records of any Dr. Holloway or any Lawrence Miller ever existing. So
Does
after
he-
that shock to his system, and he rolls another sanity save and probably recovers from it, what does he do? How does he retire?
Probably would just make a science lab and start teaching people about science.
All right, so he
And,
becomes a professor, and
Always have that anxiety of like, what the hell just happened?
Hey, if you want to found your university out at my compound, I can just be security.
hell yeah. Lavinia,
I don't know if your character would want to stick around, but my character would. Once you figured that out, my character would definitely want to stay with you guys to make sure, like, he remembers that he's a sane person and, like, there were other people who experienced this.
Oh yeah, my character would like continue, even when he's teaching people, he'd like continually try to figure out what just happened to all of us. Like, we all talked about it afterwards, and like we all had the same shared consciousness, and he doesn't understand it, and he wants to not have anyone go through that again, so he's going to try to figure it out, but it just doesn't exist.
I also completely forgot a crucial point. I'm literally stupid. I read it. How'd you roll those d10s and then forgot about it? Those d10s are how many years you aged upon emerging back in this world.
Oh,
So it probably didn't
I'm an
affect
android.
Baylor much, yeah. But just add that to your years of retirement here. Some of you aged more than others, but Lavinia, you and your missing arm, you could probably get a replacement. But how do you live out your days after waking up from this coma a few years later, much older than when you went into this job? You may be muted.
Hack. I wake up from the coma and immediately fall out of bed.
Classic.
I probably spend the rest of my life hiding in Magellan's compound from the hyper intelligent cat people
Yeah, that tracks. You never know.
and the xenomorphs. You can't escape them.
You're just like the head engineer at the compound or something.
She just had the worst time.
Poor Lavinia.
Yeah, and I'm probably teaching Lavinia self-defense and like how to use guns and things so that she can actually defend herself next time around.
Did Lavinia
She
land
only
any
shot a hole
shots?
in one of no.
Oh,
I think Lavinia succeeded in doing absolutely nothing of value the whole time.
it's an absolutely iconic character for a horror movie, though, to just be the one character that just gets shit on the entire time and nothing goes well for them. Yeah, perfect.
And it's just miraculous that they make it through at the end.
Exactly. Through sheer fucking will. Baylor. Android. Oh, sorry, Steven.
No, I was gonna say, is my screwdriver still covered in blood from stabbing that person?
Surprisingly not.
That would probably be on like the top of my desk. Just like I would look at it and be like, "There's no way that didn't happen."
So Baylor, you as an android probably didn't feel the effects of the aging too much, but you had a lot of money. What are you going to do with it?
So Baylor is going to return to the other 11 Baylor units and copy over the memories to all of them and use the money to get all of them together, emancipate the Baylors, start their own little company. There's a lot of us. We can do a lot of things, and we probably operate out of Magellan's compound. We have plenty of funding, plenty of security. And a lot of the effort is going to go into understanding the physics and just impossible things that he experienced and how to prevent such things from ever intruding on this reality.
Hell yeah.
So basically, we built a very traumatized, highly armored think tank.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
guys-
say, like, I feel like I would just help Baylor. Everything that they come up with, I would just like be the scientist to think about it, and like I would just have this little army of scientists that we just figure stuff out.
Yeah, in the world building of this world now, you guys all went on a very normal roadwork trip, suddenly aged a bunch of random years and lost an arm and started spewing all these crazy theories about things nobody had ever heard of before and made your own like paranoid secret society based on preventing that from ever happening again, which is
So we
kinda
are the
based.
Illuminati.
No, we're the SCP Foundation.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
yeah.
go. Yeah, exactly. You made your own
We all-
SCP with blackjack and hookers. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Fuck. Ooh, give me. Hold on. I need some numbers. What are some significant numbers for this?
Significant numbers.
What were the biggest, best rolls?
Biggest best rolls. Well,
38
you rolled
damage.
yeah, that's true. You rolled a 0 crit to get you guys home. You got 220,000 credits upon leaving, which is what you funded all this with.
Okay, there you go. SCP 220,
Ah, nice.
the Trailblazer.
I like it. Any last additions to that story? All right. That was very cool. Thank you all for playing. I had a great time running that. This is a cool system.
Yeah, that was cool. That was surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool
That was
ass
horrifying.
scenario. Yeah. It's good. I love how the system spirals you. Like the worse things get, the worse they get faster.
And then it's like, oh, this is the end. This is the end of everything. So there has to be something to do here.
Yeah. So just to I want to dig into the secret details here, but I think I'll just leave our story as it is. If you want to learn those secret details, you can go and pick up this book, but you know, I think it's better we leave this just as the story we all wrote together about this cool fucking foundation of a space SCP after a terrifying trauma bonding experience. Yeah. Thank you all for joining so much. That was great.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I really want that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay. I will
I gotta buy that book. I just bought the Candela Obscura book, so I've got the special
Oh, yeah.
edition